Hello everyone, I'm James Milan and welcome to this town hall update. I am joined as always by Jim Feeney, our town manager, and we have plenty to talk about today. Summer might be sleepy in some places, not in this town. So with a deep breath, I'm going to tell you what we're going to talk about today. We'll start in Menotomy Rocks Park with the playground project and an update there. We're going to talk about a new grant for another electric school bus. There's the mass save expansion of the eligibility for no-cost heat pumps. We'll hear about that. We're going to get an update on the ACE program, and that's Arlington Community Electricity in this case, ACE. We'll get the results of the Storefront Improvement Program. We'll talk about the Arlington Cable Service Provider Survey. That's important because ACMi is involved with that, of course. We want to talk about the Fall Civic Academy, the Arlington Res Summer Concert Series, and get a recap all the way back to the soccer watch parties and the Declaration of Independence reading. I think you're going to start with something I haven't even mentioned, Jim, so the floor is yours.
Thank you, James. So two quick but important MBTA updates. So shuttle buses will be replacing Red Line service between Alewife and Park Street stations from Tuesday, July 21st through Thursday, July 30th for some very serious infrastructure upgrades. So riders can, of course, use the Green Line in Medford to get to Park Street, commuter rail, and existing bus routes as alternatives, but please plan accordingly. Please visit the MBTA website for details, as this will be sort of a significant interruption in service. And then on the bus side of things, the MBTA Bus Network Redesign is proposing changes that would affect Arlington. So they want to make the public aware and invite feedback. So if you are a transit rider, you can learn more about the proposed plan updates and share your comments by August 5th via the MBTA website. They will also be hosting 2 public meetings about the bus network redesign. So a virtual meeting for Boston's suburbs is taking place on July 21st at 6 p.m. and an in-person meeting will be held in Medford on July 30th at 5:30 p.m. Again, visit the MBTA's website to learn more.
That's a significant start to today's news, that's for sure. A 9-day disruption, it sounds like,
Yep.
on the trains, and then significant long-term project here with the buses. So starting right away with the real stuff here. All right, let's move on to Menotomy Rocks Park.
Sure, so just a brief update on the work happening over at Menotomy Rocks Playground and the picnic area. So construction is continuing. We're looking to have the final playground equipment installation is planned for the week of July 20th and should wrap up by the end of the month. Then that will leave additional finish work, including final grading, installation of the ADA compliant pathway, and a pavilion will begin in August. So this keeps us on track for the new playground and picnic area to open in this fall. So just want to thank the public for their continued patience as we work through this renovation project.
Great. And now we've got 1, 2, 3, now a 4th, I believe, electric school bus and a grant for that?
Indeed. So we received another $169,000 grant to purchase our 4th new electric school bus. So this grant comes through us through the Diesel Emission Reduction Act, or DERA, which helps get polluting diesel vehicles off the road. So with this new bus, it will make 30% of our 13 bus fleet will now be all electric. So of course, electrification of our bus fleet is certainly part of our net zero action plan goals for converting our entire municipal fleet to electric vehicles by 2050.
Yeah, I mean, you anticipated a question that I actually had, which was, what percentage is that? And that's significant, and obviously we're only going in one direction, so that's great. All right, let's talk about the expansion of the no-cost heat pumps, which sounds like a great offer.
Sure, yeah, let's stick with sustainability here because Mass Save has increased the income ranges that will enable more Arlington households to qualify for no-cost heat pump systems if they currently heat with oil, propane, or electric resistance, not gas. Okay. So one-person Arlington households with incomes below $96,000 will now qualify. Two-person households with income below $109,700 will now qualify, and four-person households below $137,100 will now qualify. Of course, income ranges for other eligible households are available on the Mass Save website. Interestingly, both renters and homeowners may qualify. So please, if you're looking to learn more, reach out to the town's Electrify Arlington program, where we are well situated to help residents and landlords learn more about this opportunity or really any other opportunity related to energy in their homes.
Well, today's agenda is very well organized because we are sticking right with the same theme, and let's talk about Arlington Community Electricity.
Thanks, James. So as we all know, summer heat is set in, which means increased demand for electricity through air conditioning. But we have good news to report that residents and businesses enrolled in Arlington Community Electricity, or ACE, continue to support 100% clean energy while benefiting from both flexibility and stability. The town is now halfway through its current supply contract with Direct Energy, and this contract goes through December of 2027, so it is just a good time to provide some updates on the program and what some of the successes have been. So recently, 538 eligible low-income residents in Arlington were automatically enrolled in the lowest cost Arlington Basic option in March, and they will save approximately $165 per year. Both the Arlington Local Green and Arlington Basic options, we're pleased to report, will cost less than Eversource Basic Service in the upcoming rate period from August 2026 through January 2027. Of course, future savings cannot be guaranteed because future Eversource rates are currently unknown. They get adjusted roughly every 6 months. So the nearly 95% of ACE participants enrolled in Arlington's Local Green default option, which contains, again, 100% total renewable energy, will save approximately $31 during this time period. Arlington residents who have recently opened a new electricity account will be automatically enrolled in the ACE Local Green default option, and you will receive a letter in the mail this summer explaining your options. So as always, kudos to our sustainability manager, Talia Fox, for her continued stewardship of the ACE program, as well as her persistence in accessing and finding grant funds to build the town's fleet of electric vehicles. And also want to give a nod to our Electrify Arlington coordinator, Lori Kenshoft, for her great work connecting the people of Arlington to the various energy programs that are available to them.
Success indeed. All right, let's talk about something we've mentioned over the last couple of months, the Storefront Improvement Program.
Sure. So as you know, this spring, the Department of Planning and Community Development revived the town's Storefront Improvement Program. So this program is aimed at assisting local businesses in improving their storefronts and streetscapes. This is supported by federal community development block grant funds. This year, 5 businesses were selected to receive funding to cover 75% of project costs up to $7,500. The projects were just completed in June and include the following awardees that you'll see around town. At Magic Bites, there was a new front door and awning installed. At the Butternut Bakehouse, there was a new shared dining parklet installed. At Utopia Cleaners, there was a new awning installed. Also a new awning at ZA in East Arlington, and Wild Ember received a new front door. So we will continue to plan to apply for CDVG funding next year to continue this successful program.
Yeah, real palpable benefits there. Enjoy moving through town and seeing those. All right, my ears. I am all ears for this next item, which is all about the cable service provider survey.
Sure. So the town periodically goes through a process of renewing cable franchise licenses, and that is underway. So there is a public survey from which that feedback will help guide the process. So we are asking you to take an online survey about your satisfaction with the 3 local cable television service providers in Arlington. They are Comcast, Verizon, and Astound, or RCN. The Select Board will also be holding a public hearing at their August 10th meeting to hear additional public comments about the 3 cable service providers. But as you noted, there are also questions in the public survey about ACMi programming as our local media partner. So please, if you could, take the Arlington Cable's Provider Service Survey by July 31st.
Yeah, that's information we are all interested in, and we really will appreciate, as ACMi as well as the town, of course, your participation in that survey. That would be great. Please do so. Okay, Civic Academy. We just talked about the graduation in the spring, and we've got another session coming up.
They wrap up one cohort and prepare for the next. So the Civic Academy will be back this fall and enrolling again up to 20 participants. If you are new to town, new to the town form of government, interested in joining one of the town's committees, thinking of running for elected office, the Arlington Civic Academy is a great place to learn how Arlington works and the various roles you may play in the town's government. So this program meets weekly for 2 hours at a time for 6 consecutive weeks from September 24th through October 29th. There will be a series of lectures with Q&A where participants will get an overview of town governance, town and school operations, our municipal finances, and hear from a variety of public-facing departments, from public works to public safety to recreation, health and human services, and many, many more. So learn more on the town's website, and please consider applying by the August 23rd deadline. Thank you.
Yeah, I just want to throw in that this is not public relations here, right? This is you guys opening the doors, answering the questions, and anybody with an interest, casual to serious, about how things happen in town, there's no better way to find out all that you can find out than going through one of these. So I strongly encourage folks to consider doing so. All right, let's talk about upcoming events. We've got a concert series to talk about at the Arlington Res.
Sure. So the Arlington Recreation is hosting a series of free, family-friendly concerts on alternating Thursday nights this summer. The concert series at the Res. The next one is on July 23rd. If it is raining that day, Friday night will be the rain date. So what this means is there will be free entry at the Res after 5 p.m. The beer garden with Arlington Brewing Company will be in service from 5:30 to 8:30 p.m. and other food vendors will be available at the site. The full schedule is on the Recreation website, so please do find some time and make it down to the Thursday night concert series this summer.
Something tells me these are going to be popular events. All right, we talked about what's coming up. Let's now just take a quick look back at the recent past and talk about the soccer parties.
Sure.
Talk about the Res. That was one of the sites, right?
Yeah. So. Speaking of successful events, just want to note that in late June and early July, the Recreation Department hosted a series of soccer watch parties for the World Cup. Arlington, of course, had a special interest in Team USA as one of its players. Grew up in Arlington, that is Miles Robinson. So, we of course geared up and offered soccer watch parties at both the Res and Town Hall for the game Team USA opening match, and then continued with a series of events at the Arlington Reservoir. We had great weather, tremendous turnout at both locations. Down at the Res, we rented this giant, trailer-mounted mobile LED screen, which was really popular. It was just great to see so many people enjoying the game and each other's company, taking the shuttle between locations, and also appreciating the entertainment brought, especially during the Scotland game, by the pipes and drums, including by none other than the multi-talented ACMi director, Norm McLeod.
Here's to Norm.
Yep. So, bring this up just to thank the public for coming out and really making these highly successful community events, but also to give my kudos to the Recreation Department and especially Recreation Director Natasha Waden, as her and her team did a stellar job planning and executing this series of watch parties on short notice.
Short notice is right. That's what I wanted to reiterate. That was tremendous. And then the response, as you've just noted, was clearly validated and justified all that effort from Natasha and others, because people came out in droves.
Yeah, by the thousands. So clearly a thirst and demand for this type of community event, and we will look for other opportunities to replicate what we experienced with the World Cup. And then also want to give some kudos to Arlington 250 and the Arlington Historical Society for putting on a reading of the Declaration of Independence on July 8th. So as many know, July 8th in 1776 was when the Declaration was first read here in Menotomy and really across the state. So to commemorate the occasion, all 351 cities and towns in the Commonwealth received a replica of the Declaration of Independence that was printed using period-correct tools and techniques. So in this past July 8th, on the front steps of the Jason Russell House, Arlington 250 and the Historical Society hosted a reenactment of that reading. So it was a great event, and I want to give my kudos to the organizers and the public for commemorating this piece of our country's history. My thanks to Representative Sean Garbely for having our replica version framed. We're looking to put this on display in a public area of Town Hall soon.
Great. Yeah, so maybe not the thousands that attended the soccer watch party, but nonetheless a really significant event, both nationally and here locally in Arlington, and highlighting once again that Arlington was part of that, the very germ of our nation's history. So, all right, Jim, anything, well, I feel bad asking you anything else. How could there be? Is there?
Well, James, unfortunately there is. It is with a heavy heart that I note the passing of our Director of Assessments, Dana Mann. Dana has served the town incredibly well for the past 10 years. He was known for his very calm and professional demeanor. Just want to note his passing and just say that his warm and welcoming smile will be sorely missed at Town Hall by all who worked with him.
Here's to Dana. I'm sorry to end on that note, but appreciate your time as always. And again, hustling back from vacation as I know you did to be able to share all this information with us. As always, a jam-packed Town Hall update today. We thank Jim Feeney for his time. We thank you for yours as well. I'm James Milan on behalf of Town Hall Update and ACMi. We'll see you next time.